Hey guys, what's up? It's Megan Anderson. If you don't already subscribe to my YouTube channel, please hit subscribe and you'll be updated when I have new uploads. So it's 10-day post my tubal ligation surgery and I've learned a lot. I decided to post some surgery day tips and then aftermath recovery tips. So I'm going to jump right into it. First thing, day of the surgery, you need to have someone come with you. It's like a law thing, you know, someone's got to take you home. Make sure if you have a dietary thing like I do, I'm vegan, to bring something that you can eat when you wake up. Most hospitals will have pretzels and things that are very good for most people and their dietary needs, but just have a little munchie on your own just in case. Another thing too is bring an old t-shirt or an old hand towel that you can kind of roll up like a little makeshift pillow. You're going to want something between the seat belt on your way home. I'm still using that now, 10 days after surgery, every time I take a lift somewhere. I am still using a rolled up hand towel. That seat belt over the area is killer right now. Another thing too, which is easy for me because I'm a dress whore, is you're going to want to wear dresses after the surgery or kimonos. If I'm home, I'm wearing a kimono. That's like my loungewear. You're not going to want pants of any kind. I know people say sweatpants and loose fitting pants. I think it's just better to wear no pants. So have some dresses, wear a robe, just all that kind of stuff. You're going to want a human with you for at least your first week after surgery. I only took a week off working initially, and I have taken the second week off, just to throw that out there. For about 6-7 days after surgery, I was not able to go to the bathroom by myself, dress by myself, or shower by myself. You're going to need to have a roommate, your lover, a friend stay over. You're going to have another human being with you, unfortunately, for about a week. I know it sucks, but believe me, you're going to want to do it. Another tip is you're going to want to go easy with eating after surgery. Maybe it's TMI, but you guys are looking up tubal tips. The first time you do a bowel movement after surgery is going to be uncomfortable, not because of the bowel movement, but because you can't use your abs. You use your abs to do that, everybody. So any little thing, you can't use your abs for a month. So things like that at first were just a little uncomfortable. You are going to get sore in the rest of your body, that being said, trying to overcompensate the fact that you can't use your abs. So for example, my thighs are now sore, my back is now sore, my upper arms are now sore. I really wish that I had exercised my upper body a little bit and maybe some squats before the surgery. It just would have prevented some of that now. Hot tip, if you're in a legalized or medicinal marijuana state or region getting this done, do utilize a really good indica. It's sort of a long story, but I did this entire surgery with just over-the-counter Tylenol, ibuprofen, and indica weed. And that really got me through it, although I was still really in pain. I'm really happy that I had the medicinal to help me. I didn't have to deal with some side effects that harder drugs would have done. So, like I said, it's kind of a longer story, but that's the gist of it. Another tip I would recommend, it sounds really weird. I actually came up with this on my own based on something I had read on Reddit. Clip your toenails before surgery. I'm happy I did. You can't really bend over to your feet right now. Do little weird things like do your toenails, do your hair, all of those like little weird maintenance-y things that you're just not going to want to feel like doing when you feel like crap. You know what I mean? So do get that done. Also, I never got nauseous after surgery, thankfully, but it's a common thing from the drugs they give you. So I took a flight recently and I took from the flight some of those throw-up bags in case if I vomited like on the way home, at home, in my bed, etc. So if you have some of those bags or you go on a flight before your surgery, I'm happy I didn't have to use them, but I'm really happy that I had them. I'm really happy that I had them. Let's see, what else? Coffee. I'm a coffee whore. Remember me talking about earlier about the bowel movements? I haven't been drinking my usual coffee. Now I'm integrating it back in, but for that first week, you don't want anything that makes that process difficult. And I understand that some people might think that the coffee might make it easier. It can kind of go both ways in that camp. So just be prepared with yourself. Drink a lot of water. I know that's something we all should do all the time, but that's something that I really advocate is drinking some water. Also, I had a tubal ligation that's called a Bilateral Mini-Laparotomy, which means, and frankly, in layman's terms, I had one incision about this big versus having a couple of little ones. I got stapled shut. I've never had staples before. If you get staples, they're removed and they did not hurt. I am the biggest wuss with pain, and this shit did not hurt coming out. So know that. If you're stapled like me, I found the weird, since I thought it was due to surgery, but I think it's due to staples. You're not gonna feel like you can stand up all the way. I know that sounds a little odd to say, which again makes your back sore, it overcompensates your other muscles. So that was a hot tip, was you're not going to feel like you're standing up all the way. I got my staples removed 3 days ago, and now I feel like I can start to stand up again. So that may be a cause of both normal healing, ab strength coming back, and the staples removed. But I think it's a I do think it's a combination of all of those things. If you are stuck in bed and you have long hair like me, I don't do ponytails because ponytails give me headaches. So I rock a long side braid, like everything over to one side. It sounds weird, you're not really going to be in the mood to brush your hair. Again, it's the ab thing. I never thought brushing my hair would use my abs, but they do. You need to think of every little activity. Laughing you can't do, crying you can't do, sneezing, coughing. Let me talk about coughing for a minute. As a stoner, that brought the worst pain out of all of this aftermath, was coughing afterwards. It's just gonna push everything that got burned inside up towards your abdominal, and it feels, a girl that I talked to online on Twitter, who's awesome, she quoted the ab pain as being, quote, like the horsemen of the apocalypse. And I thought that was not my quote, her quote. And I just thought that was a really accurate description of the abdominal pain. I think that's all the tips I really have, other than just to take it easy. All that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure there's a buck ton that I'm missing right now of tips and stuff, but that's the gist of it. At the hospital, I waited a long time. The day of surgery, I got there at 5:30 in the morning, and I did not have my operation until 11 o'clock. There were other patients who had some stuff, like C-sections and stuff, that went ahead of me. These things can happen at hospitals. There could be complications and other things where you're going to wait a hot minute. So bring some magazines. Luckily, I had Wi-Fi at this hospital, but a lot of hospitals have really off, weird Wi-Fi signals, so you might not have the internet that whole time. So do bring something that's calming, because you're going to be scared and nervous possibly for several hours in a room by yourself, and you just need to be mentally prepared with, maybe some music in your phone that sounds good, a full phone battery, that sort of thing. But those are my tips. I'm certain I have more. If I remember any more, I will shoot them down in the comments of this in the video description. So I want to be open about my tubal stuff, you guys. If you go on Twitter, you can see my scar images. My scar images have been flagged on Instagram by trolls as nudity. Scars aren't nudity, but I do think it's biased that You can show cesarean scars on Instagram, and you can show mastectomy scars on Instagram, but you can't show tubal ligation scars. I don't understand why 2 other scars aren't scandalous, but mine is. There's no scar out there that's scandalous. There's nothing wrong with any scar anyone has. So I think that's biased, especially because my scar is in the same place that a cesarean scar is in. Mine's just smaller. It's an ongoing societal pressure about let's shame all the child-free people. So my pain, one more note, my pain after surgery was, and it still is, constant. For me, it was not a shooting pain. It is a constant plateau pain that over time has been decrescendoing. If you do video or audio editing, if you imagine messing with the gain line of your sound, that's exactly like the line of pain would be, is messing with that. That would make sense to an editor. But my pain has been a constant, crushing, dull pain. So I was expecting shooting pain, fire, electric type pain. For me, I got a cut, tie, and burn on the inside, and that's what I've got. So I think that's all I have for now. Take care, you guys. If a doctor says no to you getting sterilized, you will find someone who will say yes. I know that none of us should have to deal with this bullshit in life. It's our body, our choice, but I promise that there will be someone out there who will say yes. So take care. If you don't subscribe to my channel, again, please go hit subscribe, and I'll keep you guys updated with everything else that's going on with my tubal ligation recovery. Take care.